So in this video we're going to just look at some settings for your SQ because there is the ability for different technical levels to log in and get a different interface. So we're going to do that by whatever tab that you've currently got lit up here. So let me just zoom in on that. Whatever tab you've got currently lit up, press it again to come away from it until you eventually get to this home screen. So follow the green lights until you eventually get to this home screen. Then you want to go to, then they can log in using the change user one there. So we've got an admin, got a toddler, got a standard and a basic. We will have set some of those up with some predetermined restrictions. They will all be password protected, and we will have sent you those passwords on the installation. Now in this case we've got a toddler group here where when they log in they actually get a very basic interface. So if I click log in on that one there and then we go back over to the main screen, you can see that that basic user now can't get access to any of the other layers. All they have access to is the microphone that I'm using, the stream output level, and the ability to plug a phone in. That's the very basic level that they have of access there. But so let's just look at how we can utilize that. So if we go over to setup and then go down to the bottom left and go to users, you can then have up to 10 different types of users. So you can make it currently at user 4. We need to give it a name. So for example we might call this one the U3A. Click OK, and then we want to make them active. So it's currently inactive. Tap on that. Yes, I want to make it active. And then there's lots of things we can do to restrict this user's parameters. So for example you might want to just give them you don't want them to have the ability to store or modify or adjust any settings, in which case you want to be blocking them all out. So you want to be blocking all of that out so that all they can do is recall a preset if everything goes terribly wrong. And also you want to block all of those, block. And also you want to be able to control what parameters they can adjust. So for a very basic user, the only thing that we set up for a very basic user is that they can everything else, they can't change the name of things. All they can do is change the sliders on it. So block everything on the routing and on the auxiliary, and then literally just the input preamp, keep that one as keep that one as allow, and then they literally just have control of the slider. It's quite useful for adding new users in. So like I say, you can have up to 10 users. The other thing you can do, like we've done with this basic layer here, is you can restrict what layer they have access to. So like with the toddler group, we're just going to make sure that they have access to layer E. Everything else is blocked for them, so they just have access to the basic user layer, and they don't have control using the Mixpad or the SQU app. So that's our U3A user setup. Now if I want to adjust what that layer looks like, I can go to the surface here, and I'm currently on layer E, and then which on slider 1 has mic 24, slider 2 has the ST3, and on slider 3 has the stream output. Now what I want to actually do is give them the ability to adjust the overall volume in the church. So what I'm going to do is go over and find the left, right, and drag that in and replace it with the stream. So I don't want the stream in there anymore. And then also the other thing that they might want the ability to do is they actually use an input. They actually use one of our handheld microphone, which is plugged into input 3. So I'm going to put that one in there instead. So now if we go over to this one now, now these inputs, the very basic control, have changed so that this one is our mix left right input for input 3. You've also got the stereo 3, and you've also got my microphone here. So they have very basic control, and that can all be done within the setup button there. You will need to be logged in as the administrator to be able to do this. The other thing you can do is you go to soft controls. That will give you the different soft buttons and different soft rotaries, what controls they have, and that can be adjusted again from this setup menu. The only other part that you might need is here on the SQ drive. So you go utilities, and the SQ drive, you can, if you've got a USB plugged in, you can record or play back using that there. And you may need in that utilities, you may need to just specify when you've got that plugged in, just double check that the main left right is selected for the recording, just so that it's recording to the right part of it. Before you do that, you might just need to, if you've got a USB plugged in, just go over to the data section and just check that it says that it's all right to use, because sometimes if you go to your SQ drive it will say format, and that can be done under the USB utilities. So the first time you use a USB stick, plug it in and then go to under utilities, go to USB utility and format that stick, and then you can use it either as an SQ drive or to save scenes, and to save a copy of all of your data on your SQ drive onto your USB.